Plus, as the curtain closes on 2024, the curtain comes up on a brand new Big 12 season. 4 new members of the now 16-team league. One of them, the Utah Utes, opening their inaugural Big 12 campaign in Waco to face the number 25 Baylor Bears. From inside for the Baylor Bears, your officials this afternoon, Ray Natili, Greg Nixon, Kip Kissinger. The Bears control the opening tip with the Duke transfer, Jeremy Roach, running the point. What do we look for from Baylor offensively, Chris?
Well, they'll run a lot of different actions, but it usually boils down, Rich, to these guards putting their head down, getting into the paint, driving, and then kicking for those threes.
Here's Jaden Nunn, first shot of the game, off to the left, offensive rebound, another Baylor specialty, and Nunn connects.
And that's a big part of today's game for Utah defensively, is the defensive glass. Baylor averaging 14 offensive rebounds a game, and a lot of their threes come off of that kick out off of the offensive board.
Bears are 13th in the nation in offensive rebounding. Utah 13th in the nation on the defensive rebounding side. Here's Lawson Lovering, 34 in red, working against Norchad O'Meara.
Putting the ball in front of them, and they don't have shot blocking behind. So you can't give away some cheap stuff to give runouts.
There's the super freshman, number 7, VJ Edgecombe. McDonald's All-American goes off the window. Inside, Ezra Sarr. Ooh. And he got met at the rim by O'Meara.
What help. You know, Baylor switches a lot, so sometimes you get some funky matchups.
Roach the left hand.
You know, Baylor switches 1 through 5.
Openers. It's 7 on the timer. Right. An easy 2, at least for him.
When everything outside of that 3 off the off.
The running Utes now 0 for 6 to start the game. Here's Jaled Celestine. Roach. A circus shot.
Yeah, you need a timeout. If you're Jeremy, though, like you're wanting a little bit more. Like, is there another level that Jeremy Roach can get to? It's a good little.
Celestine, that's his specialty, but he's off the mark there.
These are open looks if you're Baylor, and they have shot a good percentage as a team on the year.
Erickson found the seam. Utah 0 for 3, Baylor 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. Now wholesale changes. O'Meara off the nice feed.
Telling you what, anytime Rob Wright has the basketball, something good usually happens.
He is on pace to shatter the Baylor freshman assist record. Spin move, Madsen, nice feed to Keller. Not the last 2 games. 10 on the shot clock for the Utes. Mason Madsen, float game.
Nice job catching, he kind of stampeded that catch right.
3, can't hit it. And so far, Baylor ice cold, 1 for 9 from beyond the arc. Asor went it straight down central, and Lovering got the offensive rebound and got fouled. Lovering, not a good free throw shooter. This is really the first week that this entire roster's been able to play together.
With their percentage is who's taking them.
Baylor with the ball, up 4. Edgecombe! Look for a highlight dunk, and he's had his fair share of those already in his freshman campaign.
Well,
2 early fouls on Lawson Lovering, VJ Edgecombe.
Last year, Jacoby Walter and the impact he had.
20 for the running Utes. Still no points from leading scorer Gabe Madsen. He's on the bench right now, but his brother lights it up from 3.
You cannot get caught with.
Yeah.
Go down the list.
Yeah, Cooper Flag, etc., etc. Here's Edgecombe, lines it up and knocks it down.
And Utah, I guess, willing play there.
Extra effort by Rob Wright, drawing the foul.
Here's Rob Wright, and Utah willing to give this shot up to Edgecombe. Confusion defensively, you don't get out. Late close.
In an age where every coach and every pundit talks about,
and these guys are coming in more ready to play. I think the biggest adjustment for both of them hard to the offensive glass.
Celestine, way off the mark. Offensive rebound, Omier. And Norchad Omier does what number 15 has been.
Rebounding is about effort and want to, and a little bit of career. Played in a Final Four at Miami.
2-on-1. Wright takes it himself, it's blocked. Waleen with the block. And Waleen with the turnover forced.
Just sloppy.
Yeah, some sloppy.
Baylor had a game, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a game that's going to prepare you for.
Sar goes 1 for 2. Edgecombe, not this time. And a foul on the floor. Looks like it's going to be on Norchad Omier.
Looks like Utah's in some sort of a matchup. It looked for a second there like a triangle.
Norchad Omier shooting a 1-and-1. Lost it, and none comes away with it for Baylor.
Utah never got into anything. Give Baylor credit. They've had some active hands, and they've taken Utah out of what they want to get into.
Celestine the 3. Now coming up on 3 minutes. Largest lead of the afternoon for Baylor. Tough 2 by Rob Wright.
What a good read out of the pick and roll. They're just so good.
Sharab jumps to Asar. More turnovers than assists so far for the Runyon Utes. That's in stark contrast to what we've seen in the non-conference. 3 on the shot clock. Edgecombe's got to go, and he does off the window. Teams twice and the remaining teams once. This game's been a game of runs, and right now Baylor on top by 16 with a minute and a half to go. And Jeremy Roach adds to that lead.
And Craig Smith comes out of the timeout in a 2-3 zone saying, well, Baylor hasn't shot it well. And what do? They hit a 3 out of their timeout.
They've made their last 4 field goals. Nice feed. Madsen to Keller, and an and-one opportunity on Norchad Omier. He already having a very productive first half, 6.7 rebounds. But now he's on the bench for Scott Drew. Here's Gabe Madsen. Still can't find the bottom of the bucket. His brother, back iron as well.
These are shots Utah has to hit. I mean, this is who they are.
Now 1 minute to go in the first half. Jeremy Roach, back-to-back triples for number 3 in gold.
Shots right there are desperate.
About a 4-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and Scott Drew wants to milk as much of that clock as possible. The former Bear, Little, guarding the new Bear, Roach. Now they switch, 1 to shoot. And Baylor won't get it off in time.
But their defense has been much better.
Here's Little. And he had an open look, but couldn't get it to go. Guard. Inside to the 7-footer Lovering. Muscles his way in.
What a nice
first half, 2 for 5, and now 2 for 6 after that look. And they wave it off. A lane does not count. We're being told if they miss that free throw, everyone here gets cupcakes. Not so fast. Here's Omier left alone. Got to live with that.
And Utah in a triangle and two, so they're
40-17, both bigs in the starting five, saddled with 3 fouls on Ojanwuna and Norchad Omier. Omier still on the floor, gives it up to Edgecombe. Left hand, window. The
verticality by Omier.
Now he's working on Lovering. Roach. What a follow by VJ Edgecombe. And he gets fouled for his Edgecombe, leading all scorers with 11, now 12. Looks pretty off his hand, doesn't it? Edgecombe with the Baker's dozen, and Baylor not content, showing some full court pressure again. A turnaround three. And finally, one goes down for Gabe Madsen.
And he can get it.
Inside out go the Bears. None can't pay it off. Here's Mason Madsen. And he pulls up for 3. Back-to-back Madsen triples. Comes away with it for Utah. Good defense by the Bears. Here's Omier. Ooh. Behind the back. Gives it up. SC top 10. Madsen knocked away at the other end. Do we have another highlight? Yes, we do. Utah's going to have to get hot and get hot quickly. And they get a bucket there from Zach Keller. Right, Roach, Love, Celestine, and Ojanwuna on the floor. And Ojanwuna met by his former teammate, Caleb Lohner, who's whistled for the foul.
Really good recognition. That's the sharing of the basketball.
And Ojanwuna goes 1 for 2.
Together, I just point and say, hey, take him. And that's when you get those slips. That's when guys can break free.
Here's Wright. In amongst the bigs, no problem for the 6-1.
Baylor SID Matt Roberts was telling us Jaden Nunn got engaged also. So it's a club, man. It's an elite club getting engaged your senior year over Christmas.
Right on cue, Jaden Nunn with the triple. Largest lead of the Love. No. Omier. Yes. Adding to his double-double totals.
At the top of any team's game plan, playing Baylor has to be keeping Omier off of the offensive glass. And Ojanwuna. I mean, that front line, they are all over the offensive glass.
Here's Erickson. Knocks down a 3. Just the
players that his teams have ever competed against.
And for Kelvin Sampson to say that,
right,
that's saying something. There's another triple, back-to-back threes from 0 in red, Hunter Erickson. Rob Wright III, number 7, VJ Edgecombe. Here comes Erickson, gives it up to Mason Madsen, and blocked by Omier. Roach, like he was shot out of a cannon, but he comes up empty. Now Madsen at the other end. Here's Omier. 13 points, 13 rebounds, now make it 15 points. Picked off by Roach. And he goes the length of the floor and draws the foul as well.
How many of those plays have we seen today? How many of the Utah's 5? There's a defender that's denying.
Baylor only shooting 69%, but today, near perfect. Lovering. And he is an and one opportunity. First field goal of the game for the 7-footer. Wyoming started his college career with Tad Boyle and the Colorado Buffaloes. New Year's Eve plans for some people here. Under 8 to go. It's been all Baylor. Nice move by number 10, Jake Wallin. Any plans?
Absolutely. No plans. Try to stay awake.
Right. There's a lob. And Ojanwuna has a chance at a three-point.
Your team for that gauntlet you're talking about. And, you know, I'm a proponent for playing, you know, some more conference games during November, December, playing some of these. John Wuna goes right up. You know, playing some of these marquee non-conference games, maybe more when we have more eyeballs on the game. I think we need to refresh how we're doing the schedule in the sport. But the fact that we have more coaches playing the types of non-conference schedules like Scott Drew does is a win for the sport of college basketball.
Celestine, a rare 2 for number 32. Erickson, he's been the lone hot hand today for Utah. Wallen in and out on the 3. And number 10, Jake Wallin, will go to the line. And
a head coach in college basketball. And, you know,
and all you need to. Here's Edgecombe. Crosses it over and will go to the line. VJ Edgecombe making it look easy.
Both those Baylor blown.
Well, it's interesting. And they both said they have mixed emotions coming back to Waco. They both have very fond memories of being part of this Baylor program. And again, as a
to be able to play 2 sports at this level, Joel, and then you jump right into basketball, which is going to take you through.
Nice look up ahead. Little to Erickson. And a timeout called by Craig Smith. 3:48 to go. A team high 30. So we talked about the Ute schedule. Where do they go from here? What do they learn from a game like this?
Well, I think 2 things. One, I think Craig Smith has to figure out who he really going to play the bulk of the minutes. That's first and foremost. And then deep. And I think today we've seen, you know, again, some of those issues that we saw.
Freshman to freshman. Edgecombe, top of the key. Got it! Dawes showing something. VJ Edgecombe had 20 against Tennessee. That's his career high in his freshman campaign. He's 1 off that mark today in 9% on the season, but he's made 2 of his 4 3-point attempts today. 2:14 to go on the clock, starting to empty his bench. Another freshman. Now Wright making it look easy again.
For his size, he is a really, really good finisher in the paint and around the basket. And I say for his size, but he's been that size his whole life. You know what I mean? Like small players, they're used to it.
Here's Roach. An easy 2 at the other end. And Omar Adegbola. Sharab jumps for 3.
Scott Drew is just making those subs to make sure you had your pronunciations down.
Check your guide, folks. Now under a minute to go. Wow. And Wright showing the repertoire. He has 15. Loner at the other end. 3 Baylor Bears with 15 points. VJ Edgecombe leads all scorers with 19. Dawes has a chance at a 3-point play. Asamoah the rebound. And the shot clock is off. Baylor's going to improve to 7-0 at home, 9-3 on the season, and they have now won 5 of their last 6 Big 12 openers. Career win number 453 for Scott Drew as the Baylor head coach, 473 overall in his 23rd year as a head coach. An afternoon dominated by the 25th ranked Baylor Bears. The final score from Waco: Baylor 81, Utah 56.